Hello again, thank you for joining me. Today I'm doing a reading for you entitled The Next 2 Weeks, Your Next 2 Weeks. Which card should we use today? Any idea which one? Let's try the blue one right in front of me. Right, this is a pick a card reading for you. Your next 2 weeks, starting from the day you find this. So this is a timeless reading, which means you can find it the day I make it, a year later, or 5 years from now. You'll find this reading when the spirits want you to find it. So, pick a card reading. We do 4 packs, 4 stacks, 2, 2. And my name's David Charles, International Psychic Medium, here in beautiful North Devon in England in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be really good. I've got a feeling today. So here we have 4 stacks. And as I said, you'll find this when your spirit guides want you to find it. So there will be a message in here for you somewhere. It won't all resonate with all of you. So take in what does and ignore what doesn't. So there's number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Which one do you fancy? Would you like number 1? Would you like to meditate, pause the video? Number 2, maybe 3 or 4. Which one do you like? Phone a friend? If you've chosen your number, we'll move on. So we'll start with number 1, put 2, 3 and 4 over there. At the end I'm going to do some oracle cards to see if it backs up with what I'm about to tell you, number 1. Special thank you as always to those of you watching alone or if you're lonely. It does please me that you take the trouble to watch these videos. And we're 1 short again. 1. I can't count when I'm talking, so there we have. Okay. Now then, interesting. I'll tell you all the bad stuff first and save the good stuff till the end. So stay with me until the end, number 1, because it's going to get really good. At the moment, I've got a lady around you who is on this side of life, who thinks a lot of you, who cares about you. If you're a man, it could be a man, but I think it's a lady. She cares about you. She's a loving, kind, thoughtful person. She thinks about you. She thinks about people. She thinks about animals and loves the planet and loves life and nature. I could be picking up you, number 1, but if not, it's somebody that you like. But she's fine, and she's concerned about a problem that you've got at the moment. On a negative side, there are messages here that somebody near you is not to be trusted. Almost certainly linked to your earthly life, number 1. That's the way you your basics, the way you earn your living, that kind of thing. So it could be someone linked to your work who is not to be trusted, and you've had this problem in the past, as most of us have, but at the moment they're predicted to be around you for the next 2 weeks or maybe a little bit longer. I'm struggling to see negatives, number 1. As always, with nearly all readings, there's some stress around, but if you're watching this when I make it, then it's a stressful time at the moment with COVID-19. But there's stress around you, number 1, and you need to remove it if you can during the next 2 weeks, because the following period will be important for you and you could do without being under stress. I can see that you still have the barriers up and the bruises to prove it, metaphorically speaking, from times before when you've been under stress. And I said to you, I'll tell you the good stuff at the end. Well, I'm going to start now because I can't see any bad stuff. Some of you, number 1, are pregnant. Are you pregnant, number 1? Hope you're not a chap if you are. So there's a pregnancy here. As all readings, when pregnancy is shown, it can also mean a birth. So are you maybe soon to have a baby? If you're trying for a baby, number 1, then this means that it's good timing. Fertility is high, and high fertility in readings, as I say so many times, doesn't only mean babies. It means growth, things taking off, things expanding, new things. For the next 2 weeks, you've got some really promising stuff. Your high fertility levels can mean new jobs as well. So it can mean new hobbies or anything to do with new stuff. It means everything you plant at the moment will grow. Every idea you plant will grow. If you start a new romance, it will grow and flourish. There are signs of a child around some of you. So when you see a child in a reading, it can mean there's several of them, but there's at least one child around you. And I think that child is going to be very much like you when they grow up, if it's yours. Bright. I think most of you are very bright. I think you're sometimes a bit forgetful. In a nice way, people think it's cute. You can walk in the kitchen and wonder why you've gone in there and then come out again, and then you remember what you went in there for and you go back. It's one of your nicer traits that people find very cute, although it can be irritating for you. But you have this impulsive nature, number one, some of you. As I keep repeating, it won't resonate with all of you, but some of you are quite impulsive. You're a caring person, and you seem to get bounced a few times. You care for people, and sometimes they don't appreciate it, but you still do it anyway. You don't seem to learn from your lesson because you're a kind person, generally speaking, number one. And you sometimes allow people to get away with taking liberties. Now, if you're looking for romance, number one, it looks as though it's coming soon. I'm picking up a romantic offer or an invitation to a date maybe, or if you're already in a romance, this could be something more serious. I think a romantic person has got a surprise for you soon, and we're talking just 14, maybe a few more days than that. But 14 days from the day you pick up this reading, whenever you found it, as I said, your spirit guides want you to find it. You've chosen number one. There will be a message in here for you somewhere, so stay with me till the end. Some of you, number one, are linked to money, finance. For some of you, I think finances are improving. I don't see destitution in this. I know some of you may be struggling, but the majority of you, number one, I think are doing okay at the moment. There are offers coming your way, but I think they're mainly to do with romance and friendships. You may find new friends coming your way as well during the next 2 weeks. The lady I mentioned at the very beginning is concerned about you because she thinks that you have a problem. I'm not picking up what the problem is, but you've got something, number one, that is bugging you, and it may be irritating you, and it may be worrying you. If it's worrying you, then it means you're not sleeping well. I don't think you're sleeping well. I think when you prepare a meal or a meal is placed in front of you, you're not fussy whether you have it or not, although you will eat it, I hope. But it seems to me you've lost your sparkle because something, number one, is playing on your mind for the next couple of weeks, and you could do with sorting it out, really. If you want a full-length reading with me, go to my website, davidcharlespsychic.com, and I can read for you from anywhere in the world on the telephone. If I'm not free, one of the team that work for me will help you, and they're very good because I only employ the best, and they can't get in my team if they're not good. But I think, number one, something is outstanding that needs sorting out. I believe that some of you are linked to money, finance. You may work in banking. You may just be quite successful and have some money coming your way soon. I do see new beginnings for you during the next fortnight, which is unusual. You normally see that in longer distance readings, like 6 months or something. But new beginnings are predicted. And I think you're going to receive a serious romantic offer soon. This reading is nothing but positive, which is so lovely for a change, because some readings can be a bit worrying sometimes. I think you've got something on your mind, number one. You know what it is. I can see it in your eyes. Something's bothering you, number one, some of you. Sort it out if you can. The lady I mentioned, there she is, may be able to help you with advice. She may be able to help you in other ways because she does care about you. As I said, if you're a man, it may be a chap, a bloke, but I think for most of you it's a lady that really cares about you. It could be a mum, it could be a sister or your daughter if you're a bit more mature. But there is a lady here who can help you if you let her, if you need her to. Watch out who you trust. Don't tell all the people all of your business all of the time, number one. You can be a bit too open, and people know that about you. You know, you tell people some of your secrets, and maybe sometimes you should hold back a little bit, not be quite so open. I'm not suggesting you should be secretive and deep, because you don't want to change that lovely personality, that bubbly personality that you have, and you're so trusting and so, I'm not going to use the word gullible or naive, but you're just so lovely that you trust people, number one. And it's a fantastic thing to have, but it can put you into trouble if you trust the wrong people, put it that way. Let's just take a look at some oracle cards, see if they back up what I said. I'll just repeat that some of you will be linked to a person that's got money or is linked to money. If it's not you, you may be linked to someone who is dealing with finance. Could be someone you are borrowing from, like the bank, with money loans or credit cards. It could be that you're going to meet a man that works in the financial sector, or you do yourself. Let's try 4 of these oracle cards. I need the glasses for these. The eyes are going a bit these days. Let's see if it matches. Your struggles will end when you start trying to be happier instead of being right. Your struggles will end when you start trying to be happy instead of right. Well, you can't be right all the time. And if you feel you're letting yourself down because you're not always right, then you're not. You're worrying too much. You cannot be right about everything. You're going to make mistakes, as we all do. When you realise that, your struggles will end. So this card is pointing out what I've mentioned. There's something bugging you in your life, some of you, number one. Not all of you, but something needs to be sorted because it's upsetting you at times. And you can't always be right, so accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes. And then learn to love yourself, the way you should do, because everybody else does. And then you'll be happy. That's what happiness is. That means happiness is coming to you. And it's coming soon, during the next 2 weeks. Let's take a look at this. Another one. It's an air card. This one is saying to you, once you acknowledge your self-worth, your confidence will soar. Repeating what I just said, you need to believe in yourself. You need to realise your self-worth, that people do think a lot of you, especially relatives and people that know you well. They think you're lovely, number one. And they like your bubbly charisma. It's the life and soul of the party thing. And I think it's backing up exactly what I said. Once you acknowledge your self-worth, your confidence will soar. So believe in yourself, number one. Believe in your goodness, in your kindness, and you're always lovely to other people. I think you find it very difficult to see the bad side of people. You always give everybody the benefit of the doubt, number one. And it's a lovely thing to have. Not many people have it. So don't put yourself down. Don't be too hard on yourself. Let's try the third one. Earth card this time. These have all been shuffled up, by the way. This one's saying to me, for you, the harder you climb, the better the view. The harder you climb, the better the view in the end. Your reward is coming. This means that if you're going through a mountainous patch where you're climbing, you seem to be always trying to climb and never seem to get to the top. When you do get to the top, the view is amazing. So what you're going through now, if it's a tough time, a turbulent time, number one, it will all be worth it in the end. So keep going. Follow your intuition. Stay with your beautiful self. And the last one, a fire card. Courage and creativity is rewarded with abundant resources. So courage, you're going to need some strength. They want you to be creative. The spirits are saying to you, be creative. So that tells me that some of you are into creative hobbies. Maybe you're artists or something like that, or sculptors or photographers or something. But your arty character will lead to abundance. And courage and creativity will be rewarded with abundant resources. Courage, creativity. So if you're afraid of something, if that may be what this problem is, deal with it. Go straight into it, deal with it, and you'll be fine. You will be rewarded. I think, number one, that is a fantastic reading, and I'm so glad you stayed with me. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you're alone, as I said. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you want me to read for you on the phone from anywhere in the world, it's davidcharlespsychic.com. That's my website. Please comment below, and if you want to comment privately, you can do it on my website by emailing me. Click the like button for me if you like it, and subscribe, and share me with your friends, but mainly comment below and I'll answer every single one of them myself. Thank you so much, number one. We'll move on now and get ready for number two. Well, if you chose number two, this one is for you. Thank you for staying with me, number two. I shall put the marks below so you can find your reading. You don't need to watch all of the other people's. Timestamps they're called, aren't they? Right, thank you, number two. I'm going to tell you the bad stuff first, what there is, and the really good stuff at the end, so stay with me. Pick a card reading means you can choose. You can find it when the spirits want you to find it. If you found this card reading now, number two, and you chose number two, there will be a message in here for you somewhere. It won't all resonate with you, but take in what does, ignore what doesn't, or pick another reading from my channel. There's dozens of them there for you to choose from. Right. First of all, the negatives. Once again, really, as with number one, there's not many negatives to tell you about. So we'll do the good stuff at the end and tell you what there is negative. And at the end, we'll use some oracle cards to see if they back up what I'm about to tell you. They're the oracle cards there. They've all been shuffled. At the moment, it looks to me that some of you, for the next 2 weeks, because it's called What's the Next 2 Weeks, of course, some of you are, as I always say, pushing water uphill, number two. You may be making life more difficult than it should be, which we often do, all of us, me included, from time to time. So the answer or the message is from the spirit world, don't do that. If there seems to be that if there's a hard way of doing something, you choose the hard way when you should choose the easy way. It may be that people come to you for favours and you say yes, and you say yes, and you say yes, and eventually you end up snowed under with stuff, which can mean that sometimes you're not taking yourself into consideration enough, number two, which is a great trait. Don't change your personality, of course, but don't make life more difficult than it should be. And if you're watching this because of a job situation, an earthly thing, you may be making the job more difficult than it should be. If you're watching this because of a romantic situation, you may be making the romance harder than it should be. If you're watching this because of a general feeling for the next 2 weeks, it may just be that you're making everything a bit too difficult. And there is a way around that. You need to see things more clearly. You're not seeing the wood for the trees, as they say. I'm looking for negatives and finding them very difficult to find. It's very positive reading, number two. If anything, there may be a romantic question coming up during the next couple of weeks, maybe a few days extra than that, but what I'm looking at really now is the next 2 weeks from the day you find this reading, which could be 10 years from now. I hope I'm still around there. But what you have to do now is make some choices. A lot of it's romantic, not all of it. But you may have some decisions to make, number two, about your romantic situation. And I'm sure that a lot of you will know what I mean. As I keep repeating, it won't resonate with all of you. But some of you have got decisions to make about your love life. This can mean that you're thinking perhaps of getting closer to somebody or letting them get closer to you. It could also mean the opposite, that you're thinking of bailing out and getting your parachute on and jumping out of this romance or friendship. It may just be a friendship. You may be having to decide between several options. There may be lots on your mind. You're thinking about romance, if it's a romantic thing, of course. You may have a new lover coming, number two, or you may have an inkling that somebody is interested in you and the one you're seeing at the moment may be getting a bit stale. You may be losing interest in each other. These are all ifs and buts. They're not definite, but there are decisions to make about your love life if you're watching this because of love. And I can see it in your eyes, number two, that you know what I mean, some of you. If it's a work thing we're looking at, you may have to make decisions, some tough decisions about your career. Yet again, it could be that you're thinking of jacking it in, moving on. It could be that you're thinking of intensifying your career, maybe your own business. You may be thinking of new avenues, thinking about new things to do to promote the business. Whatever the reason you're watching this video, it will apply to. If it's love, it's your love life. If it's work, it's your working life. There may be decisions that you have to make, and you may find that so many options are coming your way, it's hard to choose the right one. So, as I said at the beginning of this, use your intuition, trust your inner vision, because most of you will have some psychic ability. We all have psychic ability, but some of you will have more than others. It's not necessarily a psychic reading as in that there's lots of spirits around you all the time, which you get in some readings, but there will be spirits around you. It just doesn't seem that you're on a high point at the moment. You go through high points of psychic activity, I always say, about twice a year. And when it builds up to a crescendo and you reach a psychic climax and everything comes into fruition and into your dreams and into your daydreams. You're not on one of those at the moment, but there's still psychic activity around you, number 2. So if you have to make choices, my recommendation is that you make them before this 2 weeks is over if you can. In other words, get them out of your way, get them off your mind. And the psychic activity will grow as the weeks pass by. I think you're not seeing things clearly. That's probably the problem. You may be seeking out professional advice for something. I don't think it's love. I think it's to do with your earthly life. You may be seeing an expert for mortgages or house purchases or career moves. For some reason, you're seeking out professional opinions from someone who is very smart, who people pay for their opinions. I think most of you, number 2, are solid. Most of you are reliable, and you're the type of person that is a bit predictable sometimes. You may be a bit staid in your ways, and people know that if you say you'll be there for them, then you will be. If that's not you, number 2, then it will be someone you know or are about to meet. That theme is coming through the reading, a theme of solidness, solidarity, trustworthiness. It's someone you can trust to do what they say they will. Everyone says they'll do things, but very few people do all of the things they say. But this person will do the things they say. If it's you, number 2, it's a great thing to have. If it's someone you know, it's someone you can trust and it's nice. Let's get to the good stuff. I think, number 2, there's some money coming your way. It may not come your way in the next 2 weeks, but it could come your way because of something you do during the next 2 weeks. In other words, you may be investing your spiritual time and your earthly time and your caring time to something that could increase or improve your finances. I'm pretty sure you'll know what I mean if it's you that it applies to. There's lots of you watching this, hopefully, so as I said, it won't apply to all of you, but there seems to be, for a high percentage of you, number 2, money coming. And I think it may be a share of money, which means that you won't be the only one that's receiving it. So that can indicate a win of some kind. But there's money in the reading. That's pretty much certainty. As often with these readings, the money comes in one hand and out the other because you, number 2, can be over generous. So try not to be. I told you I'll say the best stuff at the end. It appears to me that during the next 2 weeks, or closely following that, something you've always wanted is coming. Something you craved for maybe weeks or months, maybe even years, will be coming your way soon, number 2. A secret desire will come. If it is secret, keep it secret. So if you win the lottery, keep it secret. Something's coming your way. I doubt if it's a lottery winner, it could be. If you want a full reading with me about this, go to my website, davidcharlespsychic.com. I'll read for you from anywhere in the world on the telephone. That's davidcharlespsychic.com. If you want to comment to me privately, you can email me on there. But something's coming your way soon, number 2, that you've always wanted. It may be something you didn't even know you always wanted, but it's coming soon. So expect good stuff. This is a very positive reading, number 2. I really can't see any fearful things or things to be frightened of at all. So look out for that. If you go to my website and can't get me, one of my team will help you, and they're brilliant. Otherwise, they wouldn't get in my team. I only employ the best. But that's davidcharlespsychic.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I don't know if I said this already, but a special welcome to you if you're watching this alone or if you're lonely. It means a lot to me that you take the trouble to watch my videos. As it stands, there's decisions to be made, number 2. And I don't think you should make them after the 2 weeks. I think you need to make them during the 2 weeks that this reading refers to. Don't get overdoing it. Don't take on too much. Don't try to be too helpful too many times, because you can leave yourself a bit worn out. So I know you love to help everybody, but you can't always say yes. Watch out for some money coming. Seeking out professional advice. As I said, you're solid. You are reliable, number 2. If that's not you, then I'm picking up someone close to you. Let's take a look at the oracle cards and see if we can get even better. See if they agree with what I've been telling you. These have all been shuffled, and I don't know what's coming up. You have to read these, so I need the glasses. So, the first one says, an air card, what you are feeling isn't fear, it's excitement, embrace it. Comes up a lot, that card. If you're feeling anxious about something, it's not fear, it's excitement. So something's coming up. You know, I'm sure you do, number 2. Something good. Not all of you will know, but something good is coming. You can almost anticipate that something special is about to happen. And it could happen either during the next 2 weeks that we're looking at, or because of something that happens during the next 2 weeks. It could happen in months' time, or years even. But the next 2 weeks are very important. What you are feeling isn't fear, it's excitement. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Let's try another one. This is another air card. What's this one say? Each thought leaves an echo. Keep yours positive only from now on. So each thought has to be positive. That's another thing about if there's something needs doing, you need to do it. Every thought leaves an echo, so make sure they're positive from now on. So don't think negative things. That's telling me you need self-confidence. Your confidence may have gone a bit low recently. You need to believe in yourself, number 2, particularly during the next fortnight, the next 2 weeks. And keep it that way. Don't think negative. Think positive. Think I can and I will and you will. Somebody said once, if you can dream it, you can do it. So dream it. Another air card here. In fact, they look like they all are. Have hope. Have hope. You have the power to make that change. Now make it. These are all tying in with what I've told you. Have hope. You have the power to make that change. Now make it. It's saying to me, do this before the 2 weeks is over. During the next 2 week period, I'm so glad you're watching this, number 2, because during the next 2 weeks there's something important that you need to do, and I believe, if it resonates with you, that is, that you know what this thing is that you need to do and you're going to do it. And you're going to feel so good when you've done it. You really are, because it'll be like, not just an accomplishment for you, but it'll be like a weight off your mind. And you'll feel so good. It will do your confidence good as well. Only you know what it is. I can't be detailed with every single one of you because there's a lot of you out there. But you know that during the next fortnight, the things you do could affect you for years to come. Years. Could be an engagement, could be a marriage, could be a divorce, could be anything, but you know what it is, number 2, if this applies to you. Last one, another air card. You know what it means when you see a feather? What a lot of people think it means. That you're having, or you've had a visit from a spirit, an angel. This one says, the answer is near. You just need to look a little bit closer to home. You know what I said earlier? If you're not seeing the wood for the trees, this card is saying the answer is right in front of you, right under your nose. Don't look away to thousands of miles or to impossible things that you can't see. The answer is right in front of you, staring you in the face. And I think some of you know what it is. The answer is near. You just need to look a little bit closer to home, number 2. I think you know what I mean. I'm so glad you watched that with me. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and click the bell icon for notifications when I upload new videos. And please click the like button for me if you like it, and most importantly, comment below and I'll answer every one of them. If you want to email me privately, My website is davidcharlespsychic.com. You can email me there and I will answer every email. I always do. And share me with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, number one, especially if you're alone. And I'm going to get ready now and move on. Number two, did I call you number one? Sorry, number two. I'm going to get ready now and move on to number three. Well, if you chose number three, this one is for you. Let's take a look. Thank you for joining me and thank you for staying with me. Special thank you for you if you're watching this all on your own or if you're lonely. It does mean a lot to me that you take the trouble to watch my films, my videos. And this is a pick a card reading number three, which means it's timeless, which means that you can find it today or in 5 years from today. You'll find this reading number three when the spirits want you to find it. You chose this number and there will be a message in here for you somewhere, number three. It won't all resonate with you. Take in what does and ignore what doesn't, or have a different reading off my channel. There's dozens of them. For the moment, I'm going to tell you all the negatives first and the good stuff at the end. Stay with me because the end gets good. The ending is always when I tell you the best stuff, so stay with me. For the moment, there are a few negatives. Number three, quarrels, maybe some of them. So there could be arguments. I'm looking 2 weeks here. This reading is called Your Next 2 Weeks. So we're looking at the next 2 weeks, maybe a few days after that, but mainly the next 2 weeks. The message from Spirit for you is avoid conflict, avoid arguments, avoid niggling with each other if you're married or with somebody. And if you're in a situation where people are arguing, do not get dragged into it because you'll get sucked in and sometimes you end up getting the blame. So keep out of arguments with all psychic readings. If the spirits warn about conflict and arguments, it always means that you won't win in every reading. So that's 100%. They're saying to you, if you argue for the next 2 weeks, you will lose. You will not win. So don't do it. It looks to me, I'm not saying this is negative, number two, but you're thinking about giving up something. Maybe giving up smoking, drinking. Maybe you're thinking of giving up your job. It could be that you're thinking of giving up a lover or a romance. In some cases, even a marriage. It doesn't mean that you will, but you're thinking about it. And it may be taking over your thoughts during the day. It may be taking over your thoughts when you're working. What do I do? You're thinking, deciding whether you should stay with something. Could be just a hobby you're thinking of giving up. Or whether you should give it up and walk away from it. Some of you, number three, believe that walking away from something will take some pressure off you. And it may do, but again, it may not. So think about it. Another negative in the reading, number three, is that you could lose something. You could lose your phone. I'm so glad you're watching this because you can avoid this now. You could lose your wallet, your credit card, so be careful. It's not a time for gambling. I always say don't lend people money either because you'll lose it. Don't lend them your books or your CDs either because you'll lose them. When losses are shown by the spirit world, they are nearly always avoidable. So if you hadn't watched this reading, you may lose something. Keep your doors locked and be careful with gambling and that sort of thing. In some cases, it can be severe, like losing your job, but that's very unusual, so don't worry too much about that. But there is a loss possible. And because you watch this reading, you can avoid it. I think you'll know what I mean, most of you. So there are a few negatives, but there are lots of positives as well. Once you've sorted out the negatives, avoid arguing, don't lose something valuable. That can mean, of course, losing each other. If you're in love, you're losing your love for somebody. Or they may be moving away and losing their love for you, and you lose out all round. So those kind of things are hard to avoid, but you can try. If you want a full-length reading with me on this, or any of these subjects, go to davidcharlespsychic.com. I'll read for you from anywhere in the world on the telephone. If I'm not free on there, if I'm busy, my team that work for me, one of them will help you, and they're good, because they've got to be good, because I pick the best and only the best. Anyway, let's tell you some of the positives. When you sorted out this problem of quarrels, that you're not going to get into, I hope, there's some good stuff. There's a sum of money coming your way, a lump sum of money that you need to sit on. Some of you will know about that already. I'm sorry if it won't affect all of you, but a lot of you. There is a sum of money coming your way soon that you do need to keep. Don't spend it, because you're going to need it in the months that follow. Some of you, as I said, will know what I mean. A lot of you, number 3, are finding improvement in your work, which can mean promotion. It may not happen during the next 2 weeks, but it will happen because of something that happens during the next 2 weeks. Maybe that you're applying for it now and it comes to fruition in a month or two's time. But during the next 2 weeks, there are important things going on. That's why we're doing the reading. Improvement around your work. It could mean a new job with better pay. It can mean that you're being appreciated for a change that no one normally bothers telling you, but they know that you're good. And they're giving you a pat on the back, which is boosting your self-confidence. You have a lady here in the reading that may be pregnant. Am I picking up you? Number 3? Possibly not, but it could be. This lady could be linked to your career. She may be linked to your work. I believe this lady is already a mum. I believe she's an animal lover. She has a pet. Could be a dog or a cat. Could be anything. She may just be a person that loves animals. Probably, as I often say, loves animals more than people. So you've got some good stuff here. You're thinking of giving something up. Doesn't mean you will. A lump sum of money is coming. Avoid arguments at all costs. If you get into arguments, don't say I didn't warn you, you'll lose. The lady I'm picking up here could be you. Number 3. She's solid, a willful lady who knows what she wants. She knows exactly where she's going. She may have a partner, but she certainly doesn't need one if she hasn't. If she hasn't got one, she's worldly wise. She's been around. She's probably travelled a lot. She's well read. She's clever. But she's willful. I don't mean selfish. She's not selfish. Not at all. But she's willful. When she wants something, she goes out for it. If you're a chap and she's trying to win your heart, then watch out, because she's coming. If you're a girl and she's trying to win your heart, she's coming. This woman knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. As I said, I may be picking up you, number 3. But your improvement in work is what fascinates me here. I think it could be a link to the money you're getting as well, a lump sum of money. Maybe you're going to get made redundant for somewhere and get a far better job somewhere else. These are only examples, of course, but there's money in the reading. There's improvement in your work situation. I believe that if you apply for a job, number 3, and 20 other people apply for it, you'll be the one that gets it. You're the favourite, which comes up in lots of readings, I know, but these are the way these readings go. There's good stuff around your earthly life. The earthly life is not the romantic stuff, it's the way you earn your living, that sort of thing, the down-to-earth part of your life. If a sum of money comes, keep it. Don't spend it. Don't give it to someone else either, because it means to me, the spirits are saying to me, a sum of money entering your life now is going to be needed soon. So stick it under the mattress or somewhere, or put it in the bank, but don't let it go. So it's looking good, as long as you don't lose something, number 3. Let's take a look at the oracles, see if they back up what I've said. I don't know what's here, they've been shuffled. An air card, again, there's a lot of air cards today. Let's have a look. Need the glasses for this. Meditate on your decision and the right answer will come to you. Trust it. So, if you have a decision to make, which tells me that you do, if there's an important decision to be made, you need to meditate on it. Lay on the couch, close your eyes if you can. Relax every part of the body if you can. Meditate the way you do. Some of you may never have done it, but if you're good at meditation, do it. And meditate on the decision you have to make. And then the answer will come to you in meditation. You can do this as you're falling asleep. When you're in bed at night, in that nice zoomy part where you're still awake, but you're nearly asleep, that's the magic part. That's when you decide and make important decisions. If you can visualize things happening in that period, you can make them happen. Trust me, you can. But of course you have to believe that they're happening. It's no good wanting them. You have to believe that they are already happening. If you believe you're already a superstar and you meditate on that, you can become one. But you have to believe that you've already done it. You have to convince the unconscious mind that it's already happened, even though it hasn't. So meditate on your decision and the right answer will come to you. Trust it. how many times I say in the day, but trust your inner vision, trust your psychic ability, number 3. Something is coming. I can't tell you exactly what it is. There may be a lot of you out there, and it won't resonate with all of you, but some of you, things are coming that are good. You're thinking of giving something up. If you need to do it, do it. Don't fear it. But don't do it without a deep thought about it. Deep thoughts about what you're thinking of giving up. Because once you've given it up, if it's cigarettes and that's something else. But if you've given up something important like a lover, or a marriage, or something important, you'll have a struggle going back to it. So don't do anything rashly or quickly without thinking it over first. Let's try the second. This is a fire card. We do 4 of these. You're embarking on a road that brings you to joy and abundance. Look at that beautiful picture of the moon over the ocean. Can you see that there? I think you can. Is it focused? You're embarking on a road that brings you to the joy and abundance. This looks very positive to me. So that may be linked to the thing you're thinking of giving up. You're embarking on a new road. You're avoiding arguments. You've got some money coming. This money may be helping you to embark on this new road that's going to bring you joy. What a positive reading, number 3. I'm so glad you stayed with me. It brings you joy and abundance. Remember this, you heard it here first. As I said, you can get a full reading with me on davidcharlespsychic.com. The third one, a water card. Somebody's been building those stone castles. Stone castles, are they called? I don't know. Allow your mind, body and soul to flow intuitively. Once again, it's saying what I've just told you. Trust your intuition, your inner vision, your psychic side. Don't dismiss it as coincidences. If premonitions are coming, they're not always coincidences. You may think of someone you haven't seen for years and the phone rings and it's them. Or you meet them down near the shops, or they come on Facebook. It's not always a coincidence. The spirits work for you, and they work in very mysterious ways, and they're working to help you, number 3. So allow your mind and body and soul to flow intuitively. Allow yourself to flow. Go with the flow. Last one. Another air card. This one's saying to you, distract yourself with the creative pursuit, and the inspiration you seek will find you. Distract yourself with something creative. Do you have a hobby that you would like to do? Something creative, a creative pursuit. The inspiration you're looking for will find you. You won't find it, it will find you. Fascinating. If you've got creative things that you do them, number 3. Because this reading, in fact all 3 so far, are quite remarkable. They're very, very positive, and I wish all my readings were like that all the time, because sometimes they're not. They can be a bit scary. But thank you for watching that, number 3, especially if you watched alone. As I said, I do appreciate that, especially if you're lonely. Please click me a like if you like it. Put some comments below, and if you want to talk to me privately on email, go to my website, davidcharlespsychic.com, and I can do a reading for you on there from anywhere in the world on the phone. And you can email me and I'll answer them in private, all of them. If I'm not free, one of my team that work for me will help you. Please subscribe to my channel. There's dozens of videos on there for you to look at. And click like and share me with your friends, but mainly comment below. And it's been so lovely speaking with you, number 3. Thank you for waiting for me. And I'll catch you soon, I hope. Catch you later. And I'll get ready now for number 4. Bye-bye. Well, if you chose number 4, this one is for you. Thank you for staying with me. A special welcome to you if you're alone watching this. I do care about you if you're lonely especially. And my name's David Charles, International Psychic Medium, coming to you from North Devon, beautiful North Devon in England, in the UK. And this is a timeless reading, number 4, which means that you'll find it when the spirit guides want you to find it. Could be today, could be in 10 years. And if you find this reading and you chose this number, there will be a message in here for you somewhere, number 4. So stick with me, because I'm going to tell you the best stuff at the end, the negatives first, and the really good stuff at the end. And there is some fascinating stuff. And I've just done 1, 2 and 3, and they've all been pretty positive today, which I'm very pleased about. If you want a full length reading with me, On the phone, it's davidcharlespsychic.com. That's my website. If I'm not free on there, one of the team that work for me will help you, and they're the best because I only have the best working for me. That's davidcharlespsychic.com. Right, number 4. The negatives first. I'm struggling to see negatives with all of these readings. You've got two extremes here, number 4. First of all, nothing's going on, it feels like, in your life. You think that everything's come to a standstill, and that you feel that nothing's happening. Underneath that, there will be lots happening. But if you're getting a bit fed up with waiting for things, you need to be a bit patient for a bit longer. This reading is called Your Next 2 Weeks, so it won't be for long. I believe that things are going to change, and you're going to go from one extreme to the other, number 4, because things are going to start going off like crazy. You're entering a very, very fast pace within the next 2 weeks, maybe a day or two more than that. So if you think nothing's happening, don't think that, because things are happening underneath. I often say you planted the seeds of life. They're growing quietly and they're going to start showing soon. So watch out. So that's not negative, but you may feel as though it is at the moment. It seems to me that I can't find negatives in these readings today. It's strange. They're all positive. Number 4, you may have some travel coming up. It may be linked to your career, not always. As I keep saying, it won't resonate with all of you. Take in what does and ignore what doesn't, or have one of my other readings. There's dozens on my channel to choose from. But at the moment, your reading is saying to me that you're feeling that something is missing. It's a feeling you get that there's something not quite fulfilling your life, which is not true, because as I said, it is. Sometimes you get that feeling when love is missing, but that's a different subject. This reading is about your earthly life. There may be love coming soon because there's a journey coming. So expect things to speed up. Get ready to move into the fast lane on the motorway in your life, or that way if it's America, of course. But you're entering the fast lane, number 4, so get ready. Be ready, because it could happen very suddenly. And that's going to involve a lot of stuff coming your way in the form of news, messages, information. You're going to be bombarded with stuff, and it'll be good, it'll be fun, but be ready for it. Now, there is a message here that you're very, very highly fertile, number 4, for at least the next 2 weeks. So if you're planning babies, which I say all the time, I know I do, but if you're planning to try for a baby, this is great timing. You could already be pregnant. But as I say so often, fertility doesn't only mean kids and babies. It means growth, expansion, and new jobs. So there are new job possibilities in this reading, number 4, if that's what you're looking at this for. The fertility in the reading will be almost certainly based upon why you're watching it. If you're watching it because of your love life, then it will be that in that area there'll be growth. There'll be expansion in your love life. If you're watching this because you're concerned about money, then the money thing should improve. Fertility means growth. If you're watching it because of your work, then your work thing should improve. I think a lot of this is work related, because the travel I'm picking up may also be work related. It may be just a holiday, but there's travel in this reading. And there's a journey of a different kind as well. The spirits are saying to me, number 4, that you're entering, or they want you to enter into a more daring time, a spiritual time where you take a chance. They want you to take a risk. Now, I think, number 4, that some of you, not all of you, but some of you will know what I mean. I can see it in your eyes that you'll know exactly what this means. The spirit world want you to take a risk, not be reckless, not be foolish, but take a risk, jump in with both feet, as they say, and take a chance. Be careful at the same time, but you need to take a bit of a risk, as signified by the major arcana card, the Fool. It's not a fool at all, it's someone who takes a chance. And that's what you're being asked to do. The Fool doesn't just mean that, it depends what surrounds it. But that's one of the things it means. Take a risk, take a chance, number 4. If something is tempting you that seems nice, and it's not bad and not naughty, take a chance, go for it. Take a leap of faith, trust yourself, Believe in yourself that you can do this. High fertility can mean new jobs. It can mean a new house. And that's what I'm coming to next, because some of you, number 4, are moving house. Some of you are looking maybe on the internet for a new property. Some of you are moving jobs. But the movement in this reading is fantastic, especially if there are children involved. They're going to bring happiness. If you're looking at a movement with a family, say you've got a couple of kids maybe, or your mum and dad are moving and you're moving with them, happiness will come from this. Lots of happiness. It looks like you're moving into a more positive time if you're moving house. But of course, as I think I said, it can mean that you're moving your job. And that's all over the reading. So it could mean both for some of you. It can also mean that you're moving for a holiday or a break. But whatever it is, it looks good. I think your finances are steady. I don't think they're going to madly improve, but I think they're going to be steady. And if you've been struggling for money, that should even out soon. I'm not saying within the next 2 weeks, but it may happen because of the next 2 weeks. You may be applying for new work and it could come in a month or two's time, but your finances should improve slightly. The message in this reading is take a chance. Whatever you're thinking of, you may not be thinking of it yet, but you will soon. If it looks tempting and it's not going to hurt anybody, jump in, have a go, and you may surprise yourself what comes. Take a chance. Expect things to speed up. If you're moving for a holiday or moving house or moving jobs, it's good, especially if there's children involved. Don't think nothing's happening, number 4, because lots of things are happening behind the scenes that you may not consciously be aware of. Things are going on. It's not all on a pause. You're not pressing the pause button on your TV remote. Your life may feel like it's in a pause, but I assure you that it isn't, because you're going to go the opposite extreme very soon. And you've got to hold on tight, hold on to your hat. It'd be like you're on the world's biggest roller coaster in Disney World or somewhere. You're going to go up and down and round, and it will be great fun. It will be challenging for you, but it will be fun. It may not happen during the next 2 weeks, but it will happen because of something that takes place during the next 2 weeks, as I say so often, because 2 weeks is not a long time, of course. It can be a day or two over that, but not much. Now I want to look at some oracle cards for you. Here they are, and see if they back up what I've been saying to you. And I don't know what they are. They've been shuffled, and I need the glasses for these. My bike. First one's an earth card. I'm glad you're sticking with me, because it is good. Trust your inner strength and reap the benefits. It's exactly what I've told you. It means have a go, trust your inner strength and reap the benefits. So if this thing comes along that I said to you jump in and have a go at, that card is saying to me that you have the inner strength. So believe in it, trust your strength, be confident and take a chance. What a fantastic reading, number 4. Let's try the next one. Earth card. Visualization will help you to heal. So if you're feeling a bit run down lately, visualize feeling top-notch fit. See your body bathed in a glow. So if you can lie on the couch or on the bed, don't fall asleep though, close your eyes and imagine you're surrounded by a glow, like an aura. You know what one of those? I'm sure you do. Imagine the sun shining on you. See yourself bathed in a glow, or a glow coming from within you, shining outwards, like an angel. See yourself in a glow and visualize it, and it will help you to heal, okay? Visualization will help you to heal. I'm not saying you're ill, but healing can mean healing the way you think, healing your thoughts that have been negative maybe lately sometimes. As I keep repeating, not all of you, but if you have that problem, visualize things and allow yourself to heal. Visualize a glow coming from inside you, and it will. You may not see it, but it will. Believe me, it will. There's a glow inside you. Let's take a look at the next one. Air card. The divine is guiding you in your dreams. Are you listening? Now this is very important. It means that you're having psychic dreams. And your spirit guides, the divine, are guiding you. So take notice of your dreams. I'll repeat what I say so often. 7 or 8 out of 10 dreams will be psychological. They're still important. Don't write them off. They're important. But 2 or 3 out of 10 dreams will be psychic. And psychic dreams are often repetitive dreams. If you're having the same dream over and over again, the spirit guides are trying to reach you, to give you a message, and you're not getting it, so they keep repeating it. So write down your dreams. Comes up all the time, this. Write down your dreams. Keep a notepad by the bed. If you don't know what the dreams mean, the meaning may come to you in the following weeks or months. The divine is guiding you in your dreams. Are you listening? Listen to your dreams and trust them. They're bringing meanings to you. They're bringing information to you that you may need. It will help you. These readings help in so many ways. I'm so glad you're watching this. Last card, number 4, water card. The picture of some water. I don't know if you can make that out there. A droplet of water bouncing up. Freeze frame photography. This one says to you, you're more powerful than you realize. Sorry, I can't read. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. This means that you have power. You have power over your own decisions. You have power. You're more powerful than you realize. The energies inside you, number 4, are growing. You have power to take chances, to take risks, and you've got more power than you realize. It may not be a word I would choose, but it's the same thing. It means you've got energy inside you that's bursting to get out and to be used. Enjoy it. Use it, because you're special. Everyone's special, of course they are. But at the moment, number 4, I'm being told by the spirit world that you're going to take a chance, take a risk. Don't be reckless and come back blaming me, but take a chance. You'll know what I mean. If it's safe to do so, if temptation isn't tempting you to do something naughty, then it's time for you to take a leap of faith. Believe in yourself, believe in your ability, believe in your power. I hope you're with that, number 4. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you like that. If so, give me a like, please, underneath the thumbs up thing. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I've got dozens of readings on here that may help you on YouTube. And click the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos every few days. And please share me with tell your friends about me. If you want a reading with me on the phone from anywhere in the world, my website is davidcharlespsychic.com. Have a look at that, you'll find it interesting. There's newsflash on there as well, you'll like that. And you can email me on there if you want to talk to me privately. I'll answer all my emails. If not, comment below and I'll answer them as well. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you're alone or lonely. And now, I'll tell you my motto before I go. Remember my motto, number 4? Think lucky and you'll be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And of course, I love every single one of you. Take care. Catch you later. Bye-bye.